they sound like a band playing in a room together. And a song like Gum Up the Bearings is a song that could, well, actually Motivation as well, They sound like songs that could have come off previous Jebediah records, maybe.
With over a decade between releases, Perth rockers Jebediah have finally dropped a brand new album called OIKS. To celebrate the release of the album, Jebediah are about to head out on a tour with Magic Dirt that will stop in at King Street on the 20th of July. Here's the chat that we had earlier today with Kevin Mitchell. First of all, I'd love to say a big congratulations on the release of OIKS. How does it feel to finally have a new album out after 13 years?
Oh, it feels great. I guess lots of relief, I suppose, because it's just been such a long time coming, and we had to sort of find our way through quite a lot of obstacles to finish this record. We went into the studio in 2018 with no songs, just decided to kind of get in there and sort of write on the spot, which we'd never done before, and it was a real kind of experiment and a real test for us. And then, of course, COVID wiped things out for a couple of years because we were working in the studio in WA, and, two of us live in WA, the other two in Victoria. So we were locked out for a good couple of years there. So then we had to reconvene once we could start traveling again. And so, it was a very convoluted kind of process. Just really relieved that we managed to finish it, really, and achieve what we set out to achieve, which was, just to create something that represented the middle-aged version of Jebediah. That was really important to me, making this record. I didn't want to kind of go in there feeling like we had to kind of reach for some kind of something from our past, or that we had to try and present ourselves in a way that people were expecting us to, whatever. I wanted it to be like, well, what do we sound like now, without any if you take away any expectations. And it turns out, we sound a little bit like we did in the past, and we sound a little bit different. We kind of have a foot in two different camps. So, I think the record kind of reflects that. So, that was really the goal, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, it'd be really hard to take away that pressure of, feeling like you have to create something that your fans want. How do you think the whole writing on the spot in the studio impacted the songs that you ended up with?
Yeah, well, it had a huge effect. I think it was good in terms of just getting the whole process off the ground, because we set up in the studio, we mic'd everything up, and the idea was we'll just record all our jams, and then we'll record all our jams at night, and then we'll come in the next day and we'll just listen back to everything, and we'll just chuck out the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. And part of my original idea was that we might even just create songs just by cutting and pasting different jam sessions together, and do it, in a very kind of synthetic kind of way.
Yeah, that's cool.
But as it turned out, those first sessions were a really good way for us to just get comfortable in the room playing together again. And we, from those sessions, we created songs like Gum Up the Bearings and Motivation, and songs that sound like a band playing in a room together. And a song like Gum Up the Bearings is a song that could, well, actually Motivation as well, They sound like songs that could have come off previous Jebediah records, maybe.
So you're going to be making your way here to Newcastle for the 20th of July. It's a Saturday night to play King Street Hotel with special guest Magic Dirt. How are you feeling about this tour?
Oh, brilliant. Magic Dirt, we toured with Magic Dirt in 2000.
Wow, yeah.
With them and Sleepy Jackson were the opening band on it tour as well. And by then we had gotten to know them a bit, and obviously during that tour we got to know them really well, and just sort of been friends ever since. But haven't done a national tour like this with them, since. And I mean, really, we haven't toured like this since the last time we did a tour of this kind of size was in 2019 with UMI. This is the first kind of time since COVID where it's kind of felt like even possible to kind of do a tour of this size. Because for the last few years, it's just been far too precarious, really, to kind of be that very ambitious in terms of putting together a heap of shows,
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I've got one last question for you. Do you have any special memories of previous shows here in Newcastle?
Well, I guess my earliest memories of playing shows in Newcastle, we always used to play at Bar on the Hill.
Yeah.
At the university. That was kind of like our home ground in Newcastle for years. And, we supported bands like Powderfinger there and did, lots of our own shows there. And then sort of when we came back from kind of a hiatus, it was the Cambridge Hotel all the time. We played the Cambridge Heaps, which I think is closed now, right?
Yeah, it's actually a year ago today that it shut officially.
Yeah, which is a shame. That was real. That was kind of, every town and city has kind of got that one venue that's kind of been around forever and has nurtured the local scene and I feel like the Cambridge was that for Newcastle. Here in Melbourne it would be something like the Tote, and so it's always sad when those venues close, because you feel like you're losing more than just a venue. You're kind of losing that sort of, well, what Paul Kelly might describe as the musicians' university.
Yeah,
where so many musicians learn how to perform, and they nurture scenes, and they're so much more than just venues, aren't they? But hopefully something else will come along and fill that gap.
Well, look, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and congratulations
No worries.
on the brand new album, and we'll see you here in Newey on the 20th of July.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yes.